Filmmaking may seem intimidating. It's like, there's a huge mountain to climb. But just think of it this way: you are going to go step by step and you will reach the peak. Don't look at the peak right now. Just think of the step that you have to take. Because the whole idea of this series is to simplify filmmaking. I'm going to break it down into its components. And if you go step by step, you will reach there. So, where does it all begin? It begins with the story. But before we get to the story, there is an idea. And this is the key point. The idea that strikes you. What is this idea? The idea is something that triggers you. You heard something, you saw something, you read something in the newspaper maybe. I made this short film called Nilani for Film and Television Institute of India, the acting batch. It was triggered by a news report. I made another short called The Photographer. It was about a conversation I had with a friend about a photographer who's very obsessive in the way he works. That kind of led to the whole script. So this is what I mean by a trigger. Something triggers you, And you should keep notes of all such ideas and see which one remains with you. Secondly, see which one can become a story. Not every idea will become a story. Which can become a story? What could be the length of that story? And is it a story? A story needs to have a beginning and it must reach a certain end. You cannot just leave it anywhere. Once you have the story, you can begin. Moreover, it should be something that stays with you. Because if the story doesn't stay with you, how is the filmmaking process going to be with you? Because it's a grinding process. It is your faith, your conviction, your belief in that story that will sustain you through that grinding process. So before you get there, you better be sure this is the story you want to tell. I'll give you an example of the photographer which I just mentioned. My friend talked about a photographer he knew who had this fascination so much with imagery that he would go to any extent. He was very obsessive in his work. And one day he set out to capture air, as he said.
Air.
How can you capture air? And you can say almost he lost his mind. But the idea was a trigger for the script and we made it into a film. I'll share it with you on YouTube. You can watch it. So that idea had a lot of other resonances coming with it. And so we decided to make that film. Every idea must have an ending. What is an ending? It doesn't mean like it is the final word about it, but even a sense of an ending is good. For that, I would say watch Kiarostami's Through the Olive Trees. What a beautiful ending. Very difficult to come by with such endings which are so open and yet very satisfying. What goes up there on the screen is the story, but it is invisible. We get carried away by visuals because that's what we see. We get carried away by actors, lines because that's what we see. But you know what? Under the surface, what is doing work like a musical symphony is the story. It's not visible, but it is the most essential part of filmmaking.